Thank you all for joining us. The special meeting of the Board of Trustees of Socorro ISD is being called to order. Today's date is March 16th, 2020. Time is 5:30. Our number 2, review the emergency operations readiness plan for coronavirus for Socorro ISD.
President Nájera.
Actually, if I may, President Nájera, I don't want to get too close to mics, but I do, before Ms. Macias begins the presentation, I want everyone to, I want to thank, several groups, but number one, we are in an unprecedented day right now with what's happening. It's very fluid. It's almost like it's a day by day, hour by hour, and I do want to make everyone aware that there's several questions that started about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago or so, and we're trying to answer every single question. We might not have all the answers today to some questions, but please be patient, and our community has been patient. I've been contacted by several individuals just thanking the entire team for the efforts and answering every single question possible. But again, every single question, that may still be out there, we're going to do our best to answer them here in the near future. I do want to, like I said, thank the team. They came in on Saturday. I asked them if we came in on Sunday. We were on a conference call with our commissioner. Even when people are sick, Mr. Campoya was in the hospital. Mr. Escobar's out today. I feel a little ill right now, but we're going to keep, moving forward, making sure that we do everything for our employees, our parents, and obviously our amazing students. I also want to thank the Board of Trustees, for their support during this time, and making the call as far as, closing to April 6th, and now, basically until further notice. I made the decision to keep all our amazing employees at home until further notice, because as you know, this is just, like I said earlier, it's very unprecedented what's taken place, and so I appreciate the support of the trustees taking my recommendation, having our employees, our teachers stay home, and obviously, we're gonna, hopefully, with the policy tonight, hopefully everyone, not hopefully, after the policy is approved, hopefully it's approved, where all employees will get paid. We are practicing social distancing. That's why we're spread out. As you can see, the audience is also spread out. So hopefully we won't be here too long because, we have families that we got to go to at home. So thank you, President Nájera. Ms. Macias.
President Nájera, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board, community, thank you for your trust and support in Team SISD. We started this protocol back since February 4th. With the direction of our board, we have already been to 2 FEMA trainings. We started that 7 years ago, and with that, we feel that we have been prepared to start our EOP levels of readiness plan. So based on that first conversation that we had with state authorities, what happened on February 4th, we immediately increased our level of readiness to the monitoring the situation level. At that time, we began coordinating with different entities to start gathering information and making the best informed decision for our community. With that, these are some of the coordinating efforts that have occurred starting on February 4th that Texas Department of State Services teleconference. At that time, that immediately brought us to level 3. We implemented to where at that point we are at the monitoring stage. Since then, Cabinet on a weekly basis has been updated and discussing our coronavirus information that we have been receiving from different entities. On February 11th, SISD had a weekly safety meeting where at that point we received direction that it might be going into a different level. So since then, we started discussing and planning everything that we have had. Of course, many information has been fluid, of course, with all supporting entities, and we truly want to help our want to thank our local health department. We want to thank our EOP management protocol from the city, and of course, Mr. Ismael Castro, which is our EOP manager here in SISD. From there, as you saw, our EOP plan has been quite fluid. From March 4th, we were in level 3. March 10th, we went into level 2 implementation. At that time, we had a meeting with the City of El Paso Health Department. They actually had a press conference. We received information, and Dr. Espinosa was a member of a district committee to collaborate with all area schools, which occurred March 12th. From that information, on March 13th, we had a teleconference with TEA, and as of March 14th, we have been at level 1 implementation, and our level is full activation, which at this point we are continuing to coordinating with all local, state, and national entities to ensure that we have all information to make informed and proper decisions for our district. With the full implementation that we have at this point, our duty is to coordinate, communicate, and our continuation of services. With that, as far as communicating, we are directing all of our constituents to our SISD website. Please continue to communicate with Dr. Espinosa board. Again, we are at level 1. It is so important that communication goes through Dr. Espinosa so that we could get that information out to everybody. I know that you all have many constituents that are asking questions. If we could follow this protocol, again, these are guidelines from FEMA. It helps us coordinate our communication and ensure the communication that is going out is proper and timely. So thank you in advance for following that directive. With that SISD website, we have a frequently asked questions. So all questions that you're directing to Dr. Espinosa, he puts it out to the team. We coordinate with different entities to get the best response, and we place the response in our frequently asked questions. And that way, all the information that's going out is consistent and everybody has access to it. Going right back, I wanted to show you on the bottom of our website, it actually has the updated times and dates. So if you go to our website, I think it was just updated a couple of hours ago. So again, as we get questions, the team goes to research, and then once we have a consistent answer, we're able to put it on the frequently asked questions part of our website. We also use email, Twitter, our campus marquees. Each cabinet member has a phone tree. And what we're doing, again, we're coordinating our efforts as Dr. Espinosa gives us directive. That is the information that we're able to share throughout our community. And these are just some of the examples that we have. Dr. Espinosa sent this letter out via email and also on Twitter. I believe the date, and I'm horrible, I can't see the date. March 15th. Thank you, March 15th. And this is the message, unified message that will be going up, and if not, is up at all area schools. Health and safety is our priority. Students return on April 6th. And the third item that we have is, again, messages that are being sent to our district stakeholders. Our staff is also being placed on Twitter for transparency so that all of our community is on the same page. Social distancing. As you saw today, we are in our full activation. We are working on continuation of services. So as we have essential personnel coming into our district, we are minimizing the amount of essential personnel, but we do have to continue our day-to-day sometimes within our district. So with that, what we're doing is we're practicing our social distancing efforts. With that, we're spacing our workers as you all see each other. You guys are all in our designated areas. We're staggering work schedules. That's something that we worked on today. We all had staff that had to come in to do some pertinent things like payroll. Today was one of those days that it had to be approved. So different entities came in, they took care of business, and then they went right back home. So that's something that we're starting to practice as of today. We're decreasing the social contact in the workplace. Again, we're limiting the person-to-person meetings. And we're trying to break and we're disinfecting many areas. So we're trying to break our normal rituals that we're used to. Here in El Paso, we're very good at hugging each other, saying hello. What we're trying to do is say hi from a distance, the little elbow pump, the leg pump if you want to do that. But more than anything, try not to touch each other. We know that we all care and respect for each other, but at a distance, we're practicing this on a daily basis. We are also communicating this in a coordinated effort to our campuses. At our campuses, all campuses must remain closed until further notice. If anyone needs to come into the building, principal must be notified, and they will notify police services. This helps us document who is there. And it also helps us document for Mr. Iington's team as we're ensuring whenever we come back, we want to make sure that everything is sanitized, ready to go for our campuses So this information is vital. Other items that we are following, if they do have to come in, meetings should be held in small numbers. For example, department meetings, grade level meetings, and no more than 10 people. This is a fluid situation. We practiced this maybe about 20 minutes ago. During that, I believe, or it's been about an hour or so ago, President of the United States came on board and said that small groups are limited to 10 people. Initially, we actually had 25 people on our slide. So again, as information is coming and we're getting directives from health department officials, we are modifying the information that we are giving out. So thank you for your trust in us in doing that. Meetings can be staggered, so we're trying to ensure that as people come in, we're practicing that social distancing. For example, students are requesting to go and get their instruments. They want to continue practicing. We're going to allow them to do that, but when they come and get their instrument, we're going to have a system in place to where all of our students are safe and they're able to get the materials required to continue and practice and be amazing like they are. Meetings should be limited in time. Again, the less amount of time that we are here together, the more that we could ensure that we are keeping each other healthy and safe. One thing that we're asking our principals, Mr. Iington's team at this point has disinfected all buses and had started on some of our schools. At this point, though, we want everybody to come in, get what they need, again, practice social distancing. However, once Mr. Iington's team goes in to disinfect the classrooms, we're asking our principals and our teachers to please stay out of the classrooms. That way, whenever we come back, we know that our classrooms are disinfected and ready to go for learning whenever we get that go-ahead. Marquee information, as I mentioned, we're being uniform. That way, one message goes out and we're consistent. And we are working on our remote learning and meal services, and I'll be providing you those details. And those details will be shared with the campus, and the campus will implement the directives and support that they are given. Continuation of remote learning services. At this time, curriculum and instruction team is working on developing what remote learning for our students looks like. Administrative teachers' resources and delivery of instruction will be placed and sent to them via email. Again, we're limiting the amount of time that our teachers have to be at the campus. Our student resources, we're looking at placing them on our website, social media, and if necessary, providing the services that are necessary for each individual child. Each child is different, so we are taking all that into consideration. Again, thank you for the curriculum and instruction team. They're doing a great job in getting all that together. STAR testing, as of now, is canceled. That was a directive from or communicated by Commissioner Morath from TEA, so all STAR testing is canceled for the 2019-2020 school year. Our TEA special education, there's a TEA special education task force that will be providing us additional information and guidance soon. And we are closely monitoring all TEA and governing agencies. That way they can continue to provide us guidance and support on a daily basis. We are on a teleconference with TEA, and every single day they have been answering our questions. What they do is they have a portal that we send emails, and during the teleconference, many times the email and question that we have sent is addressed by that teleconference. If it is not, we resend it, and we have been very good in getting that common answer for our entire state. Continuation of CNS meal services. Team SISD will offer free meals to all students via pickup services at all traditional schools during district closure. Breakfast and lunch meals will be served weekdays starting Tuesday, March 21st, to all children from 1 through 18, or any children, and it is free of charge. If they live within our boundaries, or if they don't, if they're a little one, if they need to come and eat, and any of our schools, they will be open. And the hours of meal service will be breakfast from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for pickup, and lunch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will be that grab and go cold prepackaged meals that we will be provided, and there will be the drive-through and the walk-up services available. We do ask that children do come to pick them up. At this time, that is a requirement that we were provided by the Department of Agriculture, that the child has to go to pick it up. So that's the one thing that we are requiring. But we are being very flexible, again, practicing social distancing, and we're doing the drive-through pickup services for our community. starting on March 24th. District operations and our amazing custodial staff, again, they have completed all of our bus fleet. They have been sanitized. Until further notice, they will then come in and start the disinfecting. And they will be working, again, alongside Dr. Espinosa board if you would like to give a different directive. But right now, Mr. Ironton has a plan. Once we start going in, then our custodians will start going in to sanitize. Once an area is sanitized, we're asking all of our stakeholders to stay away from the classrooms. That way, when we come back, those areas we know are ready for students. Employee compensation during closure. All district employees shall continue to be paid for their regular duty schedule as per policy DEA. That's what we're going to present in a short amount of time. No exempt essential employees working during the closure will be compensated at time and a half. Exempt essential employees working during the closure will be compensated at their regular rate. And right now, I will go through policy DEA, and I will read the form, and that will be once we get to that agenda item. Just wanted to give you a little summary of what we will be requesting the board for approval. At this time, do you have any questions? Again, thank you for your trust and support. It is a fluid situation. I wish we had a checkoff list, those of you that know me. However, we don't. But we are prepared for this crisis that is in front of us, and we're going to do a great job. And meaning that we're going to do a great job is we're going to work together to continue to answer the questions that come up. We might not have answered all of them yet, but we will. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Team.
Great work. I know you mentioned all traditional schools. Which ones would be non-traditional?
For example, it would be our Options High School.
Okay.
Mr. Ironton, is that correct?
Right now, it's Options High School, Keys Academy, and Mission Early College. But if you so desire, we could serve at Mission Early College.
And I'll repeat that. Thank you, Mr. Ironton. Options High School, Mission Early College, and Keys Academy are non-traditional. All other campuses will have meal services.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ironton.
President Nahara? With that being said, Ms. Macias, and just to kind of follow up on the question that Mr. Garcia had, because essentially those non-traditional schools, the kids may live in other areas, so they'll be able to access in their closest neighborhood school, correct?
Thank you for your clarification. You're exactly correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, good point. Also, just to clarify, when Ms. Macias stated that a child needs to go and pick up the food, a parent can't drive up to a school and say, hey, I need 5 breakfasts for my kids at home. The kids need to be present in the car with them. Correct, Ms. Macias?
That's correct, and those are guidelines right now that we
Yes.
have from the Department of Agriculture. If they change that, we will definitely modify, but that is the direction that we're receiving at this time.
Yes, so a parent, the child needs to be with the parent.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Yes, exactly. Okay. Ms. Macias, we will go ahead and continue with the addendum to the agenda. Item number 3, consider approval of policy DEA local.
Thank you, President Nahara, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. At this time, I would like to review policy DEA local. If y'all don't mind, I will read the contents in blue. The contents in blue is the added context that we are recommending at this time. In accordance with EB local, the board delegates to the superintendent the authority to close schools for reasons of public health and safety. During a closure, all district employees shall continue to be paid for their regular duty schedule unless otherwise provided by board action. An employee who works at a facility that has been closed shall not report to work unless instructed to do so by his or her supervisor or appropriate district administrator. Exempt district employees who are deemed as essential personnel may be required to report to duty during a closure. Non-exempt district employees may be required to work during a closure. shall be paid at the rate of 1.5 times their regular rate of pay for all hours worked up to 40 hours per week. Overtime for time worked over 40 hours in a week shall be calculated and paid according to the employee's regular rate of pay, and not the closure time and a half rate. See DEAB. The superintendent shall approve payments and ensure that accurate time records are kept of actual hours worked during emergency closings. All other actions concerning remuneration shall comply with the district policies and the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA. At this time, administration recommends approval of policy DEA local as written.
Motion to approve.
Sorry, who was that? And I apologize, I'm taking minutes for Claudia, so
Oh,
give me just a
okay.
second. And second?
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Mr. Gondeta, a second by Mr. Getta. All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a question.
sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry.
discussion.
My mistake, Mr.
That's okay. Yeah, I was waiting for that. I didn't want to be rude.
I apologize. I rushed it.
It's okay.
I got distracted taking the.
I know we all want to get out, so
So,
just
uh,
quick question.
Thank you. Yes.
This includes the hourly employees, right?
Correct.
And then also, how about substitute teachers?
Correct.
Correct? Okay. That's it.
All those in favor?
Wait up real quick.
Aye.
And I apologize as well.
Otra vez?
I know. You know what? Thank you, thank everybody that's here. Thank you for all the time that's been put into this. It hasn't been easy. You know, I guess all of us, it's not something we thought we'd ever see in our lifetime. You know, and it's been kind of disturbing because there's times that, you know, you go to a store, you go to your neighborhood store, and you see some things that you don't want to see. But I want to thank everybody in here for really taking the time and the effort to make this district safe for all our employees and our students. This hasn't been easy again. I mean, it's been tough. And these decisions are, you know, I really do appreciate our governor for really stepping it up, making those calls that, you know, when you become, you know, an individual like ourselves, that we have to make those decisions, especially our governor, that he had to make some tough decisions this week, and really appreciate him stepping it up for the school boards, the school districts, and really helping us out to figure things out. So again, I mean, especially, and everybody up here, you know, we've done, you know, it's not easy and for all of us up here, but thank all of you for doing what we have to do. And so again, thank everybody for being here. Thank our employees, all of you, for our associations for stepping it up as well. Thank all of you as well, and all our employees for you know, sticking it in here with us, and we're gonna get through this.
Any other questions?
President Nakata,
Ms. Rodriguez?
if I may, Ms. Macias, thank you for the update, the recommendation on the update to board policy. Like Mr. Gondara was saying, I think at this time, we're in a situation where there's so much out there that we don't know. I think this is at least one thing that our staff and our community will be able to say, at least I know my paycheck is safe. Versus, you know, when this first came out, is, okay, what are we gonna do? And we know, you know, and we've been in the education, most of us have been in the education system for a while, where there's not documentation of you actually being there. That's where it gets tough, but I think at least with this, I think this is gonna really help our employees and our staff to at least know they can count on this. You know, we may not be able to go to the grocery store and buy some of the stuff that we may need or want, but at least the paycheck is safe and the well-being of our families are okay. Thank you again.
Any other questions?
Just a comment real quick.
Yeah.
As quickly as I am to criticize, I'm gonna be just as quick to praise. I'd like to praise every single person in this room for stepping it up. Dr. Espinosa, I'm very proud of the decision that you made. that Sunday afternoon, which I'll let you know. So.
If I may, the team, Gary, Mr. Gandara, he said it all. It's been some sleepless nights. I've been here 7, 8 years, and this is the toughest time. I'm sure there's been some other tough ones, but these are decisions that impact parents, employees, students, obviously. And again, I echo what the team said. I cannot thank the team enough. But also, sometimes they may not feel appreciated. I want to thank Trustee Garcia, Trustee Guerra, Mrs. Nájera, Trustee Nájera, Trustee Rodriguez, Trustee Morales, Trustee Gandara. Mr. Mann, in case you're wondering, he wanted to be here. He's in California taking care of his mom, But what I want to thank them for is that I pick up the phone and I'll call each and one of them, and I'll get a text from Mr. Morales, hey, good decision, or from, Mr. Guerra or Mr. Garcia, hey, good call, or hey, a phone call, hey, sounds like a good idea, let's do it. I cannot thank the board members up here for their support, because these decisions that are being made, they're difficult decisions. Some of them are pretty simple. Paying our employees, that's a simple one. But the ones, when are we going to close? For 2 weeks, 1 week? Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to just shut it down. Those are the things that some people on the outside may think those are easy decisions. Those are difficult. So I want to thank each and every one of the individuals up here for your guidance and for your support and your input. And obviously, I got to thank before, the entire team that I said, hey, we got to come in Saturday. Hey, let's come in on Sunday. Yesterday I was with the ladies. I would not recognize. I was in sandals and shorts. I was playing basketball. The ladies were, we had a meeting, that's the kind of people that we have here in Socorro ISD, and been receiving a lot of contacts where they thank you for the decisions that the team up here made and supported. Also, I want to thank the associations, because I reached out. We talked yesterday too, so they're probably tired of my calls.
Are there any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And the motion carries. If there's no further business before this board, we are adjourned. The time is 5:57.